Greetings and welcome back. This is episode 3 for Keys for the Unhinged. Good to be back. Good to be here. Good to be above the soil and not under it. Okay? I pray everyone is well. You have a wonderful day today. It's still 8 o'clock my time in the morning, so this is the first talking out loud I have done. So my voice will calm down, I'm sure. Alive and more or whatever. I don't know how to best say that, but this is, yes, my first talking for the morning. Anyways, let's see. I didn't do any recordings yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I did some cleaning of the windows in the house. Sprayed them down, pulled them out, stuff like that. And, yeah. So the weather is beautiful. Summertime has finally kicked in. So that's awesome. It's good to see the sun, to feel the heat. That's definitely awesome. I'm sitting here at the table. I paused it for a second because my husband was in the kitchen and oh my goodness, he was so loud. But I think he's finished. Nevertheless, I woke up earlier than what I was planning on this morning, and it's one of those things where, you just wake up and you're like, okay, I'm up. Why did why was I awakened earlier than my alarm clock? And I didn't quite figure it out. I didn't hear why, but I don't know. Maybe it will come out during this recording. Visualization is very, 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 very important. I did not know that they had visualization exercises. A lot of times our mind is clouded with other things and we're not able to visualize properly. And of course, for manifestation, that's the only reason to visualize, is for manifestation purposes. To be able to visualize where you see yourself 3 months down the road, 3 years down the road, 6 years down the road, whatever the time frame is, but just where you see yourself or what you see to come into fruition. So visualization is very, very important. Why don't you stand up and shake yourself off? Shake your hands, shake your arms, shake your legs, wipe your hands off, blow on your hands. Sometimes we have energy that is trying to attach itself to us, and we don't quite feel like ourselves. And so that's a good practice before you come into your house, before you maybe step into someone else's house. Sometimes you have to do it when you're at your house. Just, energy is energy. And sometimes unwanted energy can attach itself or try to attach itself, excuse me, to us. So Yeah, we can even visualize whatever unwanted, whatever that has tried to tag along. Visualize wiping it off. Visualize shooing it back to where it come from. Yeah, let's send all that negative energy, all that depression, all that sadness, all that evil eye, the negative incantations. Let's send all that energy back to where it came from. You've been redirected energy. Go back to where you come from. You can't sit here. Y'all remember that from the Forrest Gump movie? Jenny said, you can't sit here. No, wait. Y'all, it's been so long since I've seen that movie. Oh my goodness. And that was someone telling Forrest he couldn't sit with them. And of course, then I heard Jenny say, you can sit here. But yeah, anything. I mean, like joy, happiness, being at peace, being content, being in a loving space, that is our birthright. It's our birthright. We only break out war when it's absolutely necessary. When things have to be balanced out some. That's when you have to show another side. And we all have it. It's just being able to keep it under wraps, suppress it, keep it, where it's supposed to be until it's a card that needs to be pulled. Hopefully, people are learning their space and their boundaries, and they won't pull those cards. But on the other hand, some people just aren't allowed to pull those cards because they're not put in the position to where they can pull that card. Being around certain people can bring out certain feelings. Being around certain kind of energy, certain kind of mindsets can tamper with how you're feeling. And we have to be very mindful of the energy that we put ourselves around. Some people would say, I'm powerful enough to where the energy doesn't affect me. And I'd say, I think that is wonderful. That's where I'm getting to. Okay, that's what the work is for. To be untainted, to be untouched, and to walk by and to have the frequencies that do not align with you, they should automatically move because you're coming through. Oh yeah, I definitely concur with that. I feel that. I think that is what it is, and it's awesome. So it's all about evolving. It's all about work. It's all about growing and learning and continuing to let go what doesn't serve you. Let go of what is hindering you back from being the best version of you. Let it go. Let it go. And sometimes it is so hard because I didn't say heart. I said hard. Because the fear of the unknown, and then the fear of what is known too. We don't necessarily want to do something that has been continuously done for years, sometimes decades, sometimes just a couple of months. Everybody's situation can be different, but we get stuck in the feeling of the feeling of repetition, right? We get stuck in the feeling of repetition. And we assume that it's a safe space, and it is for a different aspect of you, if that makes sense. It's a safe space for a different aspect of you. I have to do something with my hands. I just picked up some cards. I like to crochet. I like to make jewelry. I like to write. I like to sew. I like to paint. I love to do things with my hands. Anything that woodworking, pottery, I like to express myself with my hands. And it's very, very therapeutic too. And so I was thinking to, while I did my recording this morning, to do pick some grain. I have a grain grinder and I have einkorn grain. And einkorn is one of the most ancient grains that they know of. And it has 2 chromosomes, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's correct. Like wheat has a lot. It's been tampered with a whole lot. I think spelt has 6 chromosomes. And then, you have like kamut, which we stopped eating the spelt. Of course, we went from wheat, then we went to spelt, and then we went to kamut, and einkorn. Oh my goodness, it's just awesome, okay? If you haven't tried it, you have to try it. And so I was actually thinking to pick some einkorn while I sat here and did my recording, but I forgot to get it. So I'm like, not really fidgety, but my hands are wanting to do something. And I felt that, which is funny. I felt it, but I paid no attention to it. So our intuition is so very, 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 very powerful. And that's the reason for getting the certain thoughts, so you're hearing certain words, hearing certain feeling to do certain movements, certain to do a certain thing. And it's always your intuition, is your higher self guiding you. It knew that, hey, Ufparda, this morning you're going to need something to do with your hands. And that's so funny. It's funny how when I was in the kitchen, I was like, pick some grain. And then I was thinking, well, how would that go? You trying to pick grain and talk at the same time, but not knowing that, hey, I'm okay. So my sun's sign is Gemini. Okay. So I'm not scattered, but I am scattered. And it's not like I'm scattered, don't know what I'm doing. It's that I'm scattered in different places because that's how my mind works. Okay, like I love keeping busy and doing things. I don't really like repetition too much. Like I said, I love to crochet. So I love crocheting hats. Small things. I've never crocheted a caftan. I never crocheted a blanket because of the repetition of the stitches. It doesn't work for me. So projects that I can do that might take an hour or two and be done, that's great. I still want to crochet a blanket though. And the best one for me would probably be some granny square type ordeal, not ordeal, that's not the correct word, but some granny square type um, blanket, because you do it in squares, and then once you finish you connect the squares. But sitting there, no, that doesn't work for me. Any other Gemini sun signs? And my moon is actually Virgo, so it's a interesting combo. But I am learning myself still, because we evolve, and we change, we grow, we let go of all those things, and it's okay. It's okay as long as you're continuing to mold according to your higher self, according to your, according to you, according to you. So, yeah. I don't know how I am going to cleanse. I don't know how I'm going to. I need to cleanse. I need, really, I don't know how the word cleanse came up, okay? But I really do. I need to do a detox cleanse. I need to do a declutter cleanse, just a cleanse. It feels so good when you're able to regain space. Oh, excuse me. And I said regain space because when you get rid of stuff, you're able to regain the space that was taken up by something that was unnecessary. Taking up space. So cleanse. Cleanse. Like I said, cleanse your body. I need to do a body cleanse. I actually have never done a full body detox. I know, like the Amish, the Mennonites, and even other, like in, like certain parts of Africa, maybe all parts of Africa do it. I don't know for a fact, and I'm sure that other just cultures outside of America do it, but they cleanse a couple times a year, some every time the seasons change. I think that is a wonderful idea. I didn't grow up eating necessarily healthy. I grew up eating the regular American standardized diet, eating out of cans, not necessarily stuff being cooked from scratch. Now, my mom, she did make lasagna, or like a meatloaf, but for the most part, I don't never remember picking like collard greens, fresh collard greens. I don't really remember picking fresh beans, green beans. I don't remember that stuff. So eating that way, and then I remember when I was about maybe 12 or 11 or 13, but it was my younger, early, late teens, probably definitely under the age of 14, but after 11. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I don't want to eat meat anymore. She was like, huh? I was like, I don't want to eat meat anymore. She was like, okay, whatever. And so that's when I kind of started my journey, but I did not stick to it, of course, being a child. And then wanting to eat different than everyone else in the house, of course, I didn't stick to it. It's funny how when you look back, you can see points of you that are you, and it's just that we go through life, we go through things, we go through people, you know, and you do. And so you adjust to the environment that you're in. You let go of things, you put on things, and they're not necessarily things that belong to you. It's just because of the environment that you went into and the people that you were around trying to fit in or whatever. So I've now I don't eat no kind of animal products just because it's me. I don't see any reason to partake in anything that has something to do with something that's alive. And then, of course, you have the people who say, well, the plants are alive. And of course they are. That's the whole point of eating something that is alive. But I don't want to eat something that is like eating flesh. That's a part of cannibalism, okay? It's a difference between that plant and it being alive, because it's its job to be alive and to feed us chlorophyll, to feed us whatever, all that stuff that the plants entail inside of them, versus eating something else that is alive and has flesh. Yes, so I personally am not into any kind of cannibalism. So, like I was saying, when I was younger, and I started my health journey about, let's see, now, even with my children, because I had my first child when I was 20, I would cook. Of course, we did fast food because I didn't know any better, but I was not one of those moms where, oh, hey, pop you a hot dog in the oven, or not an oven, the, what do you call it, microwave. Pop you this in the microwave. We used it, but I still cooked for my children. That was just in me to prepare food for my family. And so when I had gotten pregnant the first time, I had told my mom, I was like, ooh, I want to have a water birth. She's like, no, you're not. And it's funny because I was 19 when I got pregnant. And that was a wish of mine. I wanted to have a water birth. And I wanted my birth to be recorded. And my mom was like, and I'm not recording it. So that, that didn't happen. And I got pregnant again 7 months later. That was a premature birth. He was 7 weeks early. And it's interesting. I just had an aha moment, okay? I just realized that, yeah, when my firstborn was 7 months old, I got pregnant. And then my second child, he was 7 weeks early. Interesting, okay? So, like, I've always been, okay, into taking care of my children and my family. Okay, so you fast forwarded to, let's see, that you're talking about 2004 and 2005. That's when my babies were born. And then in 2009, I met someone. And I guess about, let's see, and then I end up having a child in 2011. And I didn't know, obviously, what it is that I know today. I it's amazing how we change, and it's amazing how through life, through adapting to situations and people that we're around, we do change. But it's also amazing that how you can see gradually, if you look into your life, how you return back to yourself, back to what it is that you are really into. And so she was born in 2011, and I started researching and finding out about certain kind of vaccinations and whatnot. And I was just like, oh my goodness, the information and stuff that I was finding out was mind-boggling, and that was just the tip of the iceberg, of course. Ooh, that was just the tip. So I started finding out certain things. I started cooking more. Well, I was really cooking more anyways. By the time I met with, let's see, I'm just trying to make sure I get the years right. She was born in 2011. Okay, so the end of 2009. So, yeah, probably about the end of 2009. I'm sorry, I had to pause it, and I went to get my tea and add some more water into the chickpeas. I had chickpeas cooking. But anyways, and so I have, that's me squeezing out my tea that you hear. I have, I've been on this journey, okay? And so, because this will be a long story, and I can tell it pieces, whatever, at some other time. But I've been like I am for a while, and I think I started going because I was just going to try to explain how we return to who we are at the core. We return, and if you look back, you could see certain points to where you can tell that, oh, you know, like, no, well, yeah, it's like certain points. I can't think of a better way to say that at the moment, but you know, like you could just look back and you could say, huh, that happened. That was 17, 25, 30 years ago. And yeah, let's see, if I was about 12, 13, 23, 33. That's almost 30 years ago when I was like, I don't want to eat meat anymore, you know? And so it's awesome. And everybody has those moments in their life. I'm assured of it because I did. I mean, we all do. And you have to look back and be able to see, oh, I was being guided to this point all along. My higher self was guiding me all along. It's just that I was listening to other voices. And that's what gets us all in trouble, listening to other voices and not listening to our higher self, not listening to our higher selves. I see that if I slow down, then my words will come out more clear and better. But oh my goodness, um, um, hyper, you know, and yeah, I can't think of even a different word to use besides hyper, but because I am. But I don't know if I want to use that word to describe me. You know, it's like adrenaline, and you know, like and not rushing either, but like my mind moves so fast. Sometimes I say words before I'm ready to say them, if that makes sense. If someone could tell me what that is, please let me know because that's a trip. you know, not that I talk so fast, but that the fact that my mind can say words beforehand and I'm not ready to say them yet, if that makes sense. Someone that listening or someone who will hear this will be able to explain. They'll be like, Ufarda, let me tell you what that means, or let me tell you what's actually happening when that happens, because it happens. My mom does it, my daughter does it, my grandma does it. Anyways, so I'm here now. According to the moon, I'm 42. The day that I actually entered into this world this time was June the 17th. Okay, so it's been a very, very, very interesting time. It's been a very interesting journey, and I'm so excited to continue to evolve. Yeah. Yup. I am. I know it's inevitable. And that's the beautiful thing about change. It's inevitable. It's a must. It will happen. We can't stop it from happening. So why not continue to change into who your higher self is calling you to be? Why not continue to change to develop yourself for yourself? We develop ourselves for people, and according to how they want us to be, how they want us to act, how they want us to look, how they want us to talk. And then we go through different depressions and whatnot because we're not serving ourselves. I mean, like, how do we come here and then we're serving someone else more than ourselves? But it's you yourself who has to walk with yourself. It's just it's interesting. It's perplexing that we even do those type of things, but that's just because we've forgotten. We have forgotten so much. We've forgotten to listen to the one upstairs who will guide you. And it won't never fail. I mean, like, I don't know whose higher self is like, man, I hope you screw up today. I hope you screw up at whatever that is you're going to attempt to do. It doesn't work like that. So it doesn't work like that. So you, and you, do it for you. If you do it for you, everything else around you has to fall into place. It has to align with you, or it has to align and move from you. You know, it has to go away, and that's okay. It's okay to let what does not serve you go away. Let it go and find someone else to attach itself to and to do whatever it wants to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's not, no, it's not. You have to you have to fall in love with yourself. And we're told not to do that. We're told to fall in love with someone else. And I am not saying that you cannot get married and fall in love. And, because even my children, I have 6 children, by the way, and I love all of my children. So I'm not talking about, and that's, I mean, I do. I love all my children. But talking about falling in love with something more than you love yourself, that's when it's not good, because of the fact that means you're going to put something above yourself. When you came to have the journey yourself, those who get it will get it. You came to have the journey yourself, for yourself. So how can you put something above yourself? We have been doing it for so long, and we should stop. We should stop, because that's when happiness will return to you. That's when joy will return to you. That's when peace will return to you. Love. Oh, here we go with the dryer. That's returning to ourselves wholeheartedly. And then you won't allow people to walk over you. You won't allow people to abuse you. You won't allow people to talk to you any kind of way. And you will protect yourself. And it's a wonderful place to be in. You know, I saw something, and it's called The Art of Not Giving a Bleep. It's a pretty interesting, they have it on audio, and I want to say the name Charles Jeong, or Ewan. Actually, I think that's how they pronounce it, but it's Jeun. Yeah, but I want to say Jeong, but it's not. It's Ewan. Well, that's how the people pronounce it on YouTube. But I listened to a lot of his stuff, a lot of his recordings. It has helped me a lot in my journey, and just it's so much. And the what do you call it? And oh my goodness, that word. I want to say Aggle theorem, but that's not how you pronounce it, okay? And I know that's not how you pronounce it. That word, y'all, the English letters, you hear my stomach, sorry. The English letters in the English language is very, very confusing, okay? And you have to agree. I mean, like, a letter can be there and there's like, oh, okay, it's there, but it's silent. How is something there, but it's silent? That means it's ignored. That means you could just sweep it under the rug like it doesn't matter. And it does. And so I think that is one of my things when it comes to reading in certain words and letters. It's like, okay, so even with my my last four children, I told you I had six. So my oldest is 21, and then I have a 20-year-old, and then I have a big gap, and then I have a 14, 10, 7, and a 3-year-old. So the last four are homeschooled, and I hear somebody coming, and he's sneezing. They slept in my room actually last night, and I had the fan on because I was hot. And so, and I'd be like, okay, teaching, reading. And I'm like, okay, this is this letter. It makes this sound. It makes this sound, this sound, this sound. And my daughter was like, but if that's the case, then this would be pronounced like this. And I would explain to them, I know that's how they pronounce it, but this is just, but anyways, they can read. So we accomplished that. And my daughter, she's an excellent reader, and her spelling is awesome. And it's funny because I actually showed her how to do it, but me, myself, y'all, school was kind of hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not, because it's no reason to. I did graduate. I didn't graduate with honors or no, it's nothing like that. But I graduated. Okay, I'm class of 2002. Wow. Class of 2002. But so to see the work put into action from what I put into my children, and to see the proceeds from them, and from them reading and from them writing, it's amazing to be able to see it. And it's amazing to be able to be like, hey, I taught them that. It's awesome to be able to say that, but yeah. So that word, and I don't even have it before me, because maybe I could pronounce it out to myself, but I don't even have it written. But the agotherum, okay, that, how it supposedly it shows you what you're in tune to, and it's bringing up all kinds of just wonderful videos for me, and where I am at, and where I am molding myself into the next chapter. So it's just awesome, the videos that it suggests for me. And I'm pretty sure for you too. But like I said, it depends on where you're at and what you usually watch. And it feeds where you're at. And so it's awesome. And of course I have a playlist and I save stuff, and it's wonderful. Usually when I'm in the kitchen, excuse me, I'll play a video to listen to, because I'm by myself. Of course, sometimes my husband will come in and we'll be in the kitchen together, or my daughter will come in, a 3-year-old, and she wants to help cook. And so, but usually if I'm in there by myself, if I'm picking grain, picking lentils, oh yeah, so I pick grain, and I pick the einkorn so I can grind flour. That's what I was saying. Grinding flour. We grind out flour. If I grind it, I know what I'm eating. Yeah. I think when other people grind it, it's no telling what they're grinding in it. Because I literally pick out what I don't want to grind. I don't see people doing that. Unless they're doing it themselves, for themselves, like for their family, like people like me who pick through it. But these companies, when they do it, y'all, I don't know what they grinding in that stuff. And they're probably using big industrial grinders. Rocks probably go in there. Bugs, I know, definitely go in there. It's just, so yeah, back to the health stuff. I like having control as much as I can over what my family and I eat. I do. And it might be excessive to someone, but how can someone be excessive about their health? How can someone be excessive about their lifespan? How can someone be excessive about living every day to the fullest and healthy and feeling good and being able to be mobile, being able to move, being able to do what you want to do? I mean, like, today's a new day. You could do whatever you want to do. Not being able to get up and go and do it, because of something that has happened, because we go through things. But no, I do not want to live life and be incapacitated some way to where I cannot enjoy my life. So it calls for work. I don't want to pick green every day. That's not what I want to do. I would love to be in like Costa Rica somewhere where I could just pick and eat fruit 24/7 if I felt like it. And I wouldn't do it 24/7, but I'm just saying, like, having fruit fresh from the tree, having vegetables, fruits straight from the bell pepper plant. That's what I'm talking about. That type of stuff. That's me all day. And it works for me. It might not work for you. That's fine, but it works for me. I don't want to be in the kitchen cooking all day. I don't want to do that stuff. It's other stuff that can be done. And oh, best believe I love cooking. I cook from scratch. I cook every single thing from scratch. I make our burgers. I don't make our pasta yet. And I have a pasta maker, but it's not an automated pasta maker. And I was thinking I want one of those. And I was like, no, roll it out yourself. So I have one of those things that you roll it out with. And then you can cut it with it too. But that is one thing that I still buy from the store. Pasta, y'all. Pasta. Look, I'm telling on myself. And chips. But maybe twice a month. And that's still, I would like to still cut that out because I don't know what they're doing. To me, it's putting my care into the wrong hands if I do not see what you're doing. I mean, we go to restaurants. I'm not saying, I'm talking about as people, as, as Americans. We go to restaurants. We don't see what the people are doing. We don't see what kind of mindset the person is in. We don't see none of that stuff. And they prepare your food and they come and give it to you and you eat. Well, yeah, I guess I heard someone say that's what prayer is for. You're right. That's also what smarts is for too, though. I mean, it's different when it's a certain mindset that is doing the food. It's different when it's a certain environment that is doing the food. That stuff matters. But when you know that what is steering the people and the mindset of the people and the not caring of the people, it's like it's okay. It's like me, for instance, me being plant-based, okay? It's like me being plant-based and then me going to a place that serves, me being plant-based and then me going to Cracker Barrel. I don't even know why I used Cracker Barrel, but it came up. And look, I don't even like Cracker Barrel, okay? Even when I was eating out, I didn't like Cracker Barrel. And those who know, okay? So, me going there, for one, those who know, okay? And then on the other side, I'm plant-based. You cook not clean, not something like lamb, not something like goat, but you cook swine, you cook pork in your establishment. Ooh, me being plant-based, you're probably laughing at it and you probably think it's funny. So why would I trust that you're going to uphold my wishes because it's me? I don't buy that. And even if someone else does, it's okay, but I don't buy it. And no, I don't trust it. So I'm very, very, very picky about all that stuff. And it's okay because I'm picky about me. I'm picky about my children. I'm picky. I'm picky. I'm picky. And it's okay. Oh no. People are going to places and they're eating and they don't know what it is they're eating. I don't even know why we took this turn to talk about food, but I'm assuming somebody needs to hear about food. You have to take your life into your own hands because it's your life. If you're not going to go and jump off the bridge to end your life, I'm sorry for those who someone that you have been attached to has done that. I'm not joking about that. I'm just saying that if that's not something that someone would personally go and do, but to me, it's suicide every time you go and and go and eat from someone. You have no idea what it is you're eating and who you're eating from. You don't know if they did some kind of magic over the food. You don't know if they put something over the food. None of that stuff. And we go to places and we leave our lives, which is supposed to be important to you, in the hands of someone who obviously ain't important. It's not important to them because of the stuff that they're selling to the people. So, look, I don't know. I mean, it's just, you have to think about that stuff. And if you're serious about living, then live and get your health in order. Get yourself in order. Get your mind right. Burn that stuff. Burn that stuff that no longer serves you. Burn it. Release and invest in yourself. Dream and wonder. Dream and wonder. And visualize. Visualize. It's so important to visualize. If you pay attention to what it is you're thinking, you could change your world. If you pay attention to what it is you're speaking, you can change your world. It's your journey. It belongs to you. And anyone who is trying to interfere with that, hopefully they understand that they should not. And they'll stop if they don't burn that too and let them go on about their business. I mean, shoot, you know, it is what it is. And it's time for you. It's time for you. Keys for the unhinged. It's time for you. See you later.